Welcome to Inside Vaping, your weekly resource for vaping news. Our show airs live bi-weekly every other Tuesday night starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube live event and at http://vplivenetwork.com/.
You said colon.
I did. I did say colon.
/:.
Nobody.
Ooh, who was a slash a colon?
Oh, man. That's right. GNR reference. No? Slash
They're touring. Yeah, they're
You're
touring.
the last person, Dane. I want to be a proctologist. You slash.
It's true.
Uncle Dagger, proctologist. No, I like Slash's Snake Pit. I think I like him better than GNR because, Axel.
I thought Velvet Revolver was good.
Kind of a douche.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a movie?
Velvet Revolver? That was a Slash
Velvet
project.
Goldmine. That's
with
what I was
Scott
thinking
Weiland at the front.
I don't have chat up, so
Now
I have to go over to vplivenetwork.com.
Yes,
And
where
you
everybody
check
is right now.
Hey, Ed Green is in there, yo, yo, yo. And yo, yo, yo to everybody else who's in this room.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Howdy,
fine.
Kathy.
Kathy's listening to Dimitri's new show. Yeah,
The competition is stiff in advocacy.
yeah, it is.
Good
Man.
thing we're all on the same side, or at least most of us.
If colons.
Yes, indeed.
It is. Well, it feels weird being back here. I feel like I haven't been here in like 2 months.
Well, you haven't been here in a month.
That's true.
I'm hearing an
Dang,
echo.
Month.
I'm hearing an echo.
Month. A whole menstrual cycle.
I think somebody's got the sound on.
Tisn't me,
show.
my friend.
I think somebody's
Yeah.
got the sound on.
It's muted.
Somebody does. I think it's Jerry's other computer.
Oh.
No, it's off.
All right. This might be Mixler. I might have to shut down Mixler until I figure out what's going on.
No,
So,
I think it's
very
on.
sorry.
Bye bye, Mixler.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now it's gone.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Wasn't me.
It's gone.
May have been Ed.
I wonder if it's because it auto plays. Does it auto play when you go to VP Live?
No.
No.
You have to
I
click on it?
Yeah.
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 Okay, we'll have to figure this out. I'll do some testing for the next episode. Regardless, the episodes are going up on SoundCloud. Ed is going to take care of that. He's got to get them over to Kevin, and then Kevin will get them uploaded. So
Yep.
I know we've been teasing that for a while, but it will happen.
It will.
It will happen.
Will happen.
So I'm seeing names in the room. I know these people are going to be at Vape Bash. Of course, Vape Bash early registration starts this Thursday. And that is in, and I always forget what it is.
St.
Ed.
Charles.
Pheasant
St.
Run
Charles.
Resort. St. Charles.
St. Charles. Pheasant
St.
Run
Charles.
Resort.
Pheasant
St. Charles,
Run.
Illinois.
Correct. I don't even live there anymore, and I know that.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever been to St. Charles is for Vape Bash.
Hey, there's no reason
I'm
to
an
go to
Indiana
St.
boy.
Charles. Yeah, there's no reason to go to St. Charles.
Actually, there's a restaurant there that does these incredible chicken strips, and I don't know whether they're like buttermilk breaded or what, but they're awesome. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to going to Vape Bash this coming weekend.
Yes,
Of course,
if you see a long line, it's the selfie line for James. Selfie with James.
it's me taking a
every
selfie
year.
with myself.
Yeah, every year this long line, and
That's about
I will
it.
be collecting $5 for a signature, and but he will be offering free boob grabs if you like.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
That's
Nathan
perfect.
says I have to turn the volume down on one of the volume slides. I don't know which one it is, Nathan, unfortunately, or else I would do it. But
And yes, Jeannie is correct. Dane and Jerry are not going to be there. I will actually be traveling. I will be in Lake Tahoe.
Nice.
At
They're not
that
going to be there because they are not cool.
we are uncool. I will not speak for Jerry, but I am eternally uncool.
Yes,
Jerry, what are you vaping on there?
This?
Yeah.
Just a K-Fun 4, my quiet vape. I didn't want to
Give us a demo. Give us a demo of your quiet vape. Go ahead and take a vape on.
Quiet vape? Oh, this is the good one.
That's deafening. Excellent.
Yeah, it's lovely.
He's been chopping at the bit to play that song.
I have.
Right.
There's a reason we have that sound though, because we are going to do a giveaway tonight, and this is for a Ego AIO from Joyetech. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. Ed has got one. I actually picked up three. I broke one like 2 days after I got it. That's a great testament to the device, isn't it? And we'll get into that later. And
But
I
it's
bought
real
one
good
to
other
give
than
away.
that.
And I have a spare, which I am now using.
I would
so that's
imagine
fair.
you broke it because you were using it not for its intended use.
No. More like it just fell off the desk and the tank broke, and at that point, it's kaput. I mean, I don't think they have any replacement tanks for it. It's just,
No,
it's all
not
in
as
one.
I've seen. So
Yep.
you have a fancy battery.
But we are going to be giving away the Joyetech Ego AIO. This is a stainless steel version. All the pictures in the front are the same, so you can see the tuxedo version here, but it is actually the silver or stainless version. And what you need to do, and this first foghorn does not count, neither does this one. When you hear this sound, okay,
Yep.
put a little check mark on a piece of paper, because towards the end of the show, we're going to ask somebody to call in, whoever has the correct number. The first caller with the correct number of foghorns that are played will win one of these.
That's correct. I should get a pen and take track myself.
Yeah, we're all
You're
going to do this. Be
ineligible.
like, wait, how many were there?
How many were there? I don't remember. I'll make check marks on my
On your
right.
face. One.
one. I'm going to
So-
text them to Ed for everyone that's done.
So,
Change
so
your text
James, where did you learn to
notification
call
tone
it
to
the AO?
The AIO?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you know what it stands for, don't you?
All
Is
in
it
one.
asshole?
Ah, I
Why?
don't know. You just
Artificial
Ayo.
intelligence? I don't know.
Oh,
I thought it was
now
asshole.
you're just messing with me.
so I have an AO.
So why is it a child-proof tank system?
So yes, and I can get to that.
Take it away, Ed.
Let's go over the specs. It's got a 1500 milliamp hour battery, which runs at about 25 watts per Phil Basardo. Thank you for the video. 2 milliliter capacity. It is leak proof. Highly leak resistant, I would say. I can't say that any tank is leak proof. I would
Yeah.
imagine if you left this sitting upside down, you might get a drop or two. But the design on the coil head, the liquid comes in from the very bottom. So if it's flipped upside down, there's no liquid touching the wicking holes.
Right.
I haven't had a drop come out of it at all. And has a personalized LED color, so you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and turn it off. And then if you push and hold, see there's blue. It would probably be helpful if I turned this off.
What'd you turn off? It looks like everything's still on.
Turned off nothing.
That light switch is broken.
Okay, push and hold, and it's going to be blue. Click it once,
Hold.
it'll turn green.
Oh.
Click it again.
That looks like a chemistry lab experiment. I like the red.
Pink.
Pink.
Pink is not for me, but I like
Give me
red.
pink.
Yellow.
Yeah, that's kind of urine-ish there.
Kathy
No
says she
LED.
sleeps
It's like you're
with hers.
vaping.
Is that a real word thing?
And
That's
then
too
back
much
to green,
information.
Of course, got to go back to green.
It's urinish.
So once
It's
it goes out,
urine.
once it goes out, it's set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's ready to vape.
All right.
It
So
does what?
I got a question though. So
Yeah.
Ed, you're familiar with the device. It does have AFC. It's got airflow control. This top part here has a tiny mark. You can probably see it here at the top of the drip tip. There's a tiny mark that indexes with a mark on the actual area that the drip tip plugs into. And Ed, I haven't really noticed a heck of a lot of difference in draw when
It's
I turn
very
that.
subtle.
Yeah.
But as you're pulling on it and you turn it, you can feel it.
Okay.
And it only goes if you're on the dot that's wide open, and then 45 degree 90 degrees is closed.
Huh.
If you
Is
keep
that the
on
only
going-
way to adjust it?
Yes. If you keep on going all the way around to the other side, so you're 180 degrees from the indicator or the lineup dot, then you're fully open again.
Yeah.
So, but it's really easy to turn. It's real easy to turn because it doubles as supposedly a child safety kind of deal. And I should have probably put the original drip tip on there. Mine came with this little gray one, and inside it's got like what it reminds me of is at the playground, one of those twisty slides, and it's supposed to swirl the air up. Well, yeah, I wanted to use my drip tip. That tip, have you tried to take that one off, James?
Yes.
Was it a bitch?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's weird too.
James, we're getting people buffering in.
It's what?
In chat.
It's a weird tip too. It's the stock tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's because I forgot to turn off my media center.
So to
Can't stream porn and do a show at the same time, James. I told you.
So to unscrew, what if you do a 360? Then you're back open up wide open. Duh. The child safety portion of this is supposed to be you can't take it off because the airflow control ring keeps on spinning. You have to push it down, and then it comes off.
Oh, okay.
So that's all fine and dandy. Oop. Put it on there and you tighten it down, but with that drip tip that comes with it, it's tight. This is a friction fit drip tip, and all you gotta do is grab the tip and twist the stupid thing and it comes right off. So the child safety portion of this is to me a fail.
So wait, how are you getting this off? You're just pulling up on it a little bit and twisting?
Drip tip?
Okay.
Turn it.
Because of how tight it is. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because it's a very tight fit.
Yeah.
You know, if they made the drip tip looser that came with it,
right,
then you couldn't turn it.
I mean, I see what they were going for, like with a child-proof cap on a medicine bottle, but yeah, that kind of defeats the whole idea. One thing I will say, best thing about this is price. So online, would you get a dry hit?
No, with me taking it on and off so many times, I pushed a bunch of juice in it.
Oh, you got juice in your mouth. All right. Anyway, best thing about it is price. So
tell us the price.
One of the local retailers that I frequent sells it for $20.
Wow.
Yeah.
And online I've seen it for $18. So I mean, you really can't beat that when you consider the what you get with it, which, you know, you get two coils. You get 2 or 3. I thought I had 3 in my package. 2. Okay. That's because I broke one. So I had a 2-pack of coils. You get a USB cable. You get 2 different mouthpieces. And, of course, the battery. The all-in-one system. But for that price, you really can't beat it. I mean,
and I think definitely for a new vapor, turning this to that quarter turn, it's a good mouth to lung. A little bit looser than back in the 808 Cardo days, but I think smokers now, they're really not going to tell a difference.
Right.
It's my kind of price, man. I like the price point of it too.
Yeah, it's really easy. When it is open, where the black paint comes up and meets at the tank, that is your fill level. So when you take this off, it's just a cup. There's like no worrying about shooting juice down the middle. You just fill up the cup to that fill line.
Oh man, somebody just vaped very loudly. Oh, the sound. I'm sorry. That was my cue. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, Ed. I'm off tonight. I was trying to find my broken one.
Yeah, so you fill it up to where the line, where the black paint meets, or on the red one where the red paint meets, or vice versa, whatever. And you put the top back in. It's really easy. I like this for work because I can just drop this in my pocket, and when I'm working on the machine, I can sneak a vape or two without having to go outside.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to write these down as I do them.
I got it on my phone.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is proof that it is a glass tank. Because here's mine that less than 8 hours after I got it.
Oh, man.
It actually fell off a low table, but it fell onto tile. And the tank cracked in like 3 or 4 places. And foolishly, I thought, you know what? It's all in one piece, though. I can keep vaping this.
Yeah, just
Don't worry about glass. Yeah. But, the juice started oozing out the sides. And then I'm like, yeah, this is dead. So. Oh, well. But, yeah, size, performance, all that stuff, I mean, it hits a sweet spot. For me, because I've been vaping the Juul so much, this is kind of a natural complement to that if I'm out and about. I mean, it's compact and
It's better than Juul.
No, it is better than the Juul, except I really like the creme brulee.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get 48 milligram liquid to put in that AO, though.
Yeah, Kathy, I don't know if Kathy just said she'll make me a new tank, but I believe the tank has some sort of a special seal on it. It's non-removable that I can see. It looks like it's maybe glued in there, and it has like a bottom with a central hole drilled in it for the contact for the coil.
As far as I've seen, and
It's not a tube.
The reviews that I've watched on it, there isn't a way to remove the tank. I don't want to take it apart again because it'll just flood.
Yeah.
But I'm sure with the ingenuity of this vaping community, somebody will figure that out.
Yeah, that's true.
Blue foam
And I'd love
white.
to have a bedazzled tank on it too.
Oh, yeah.
Bedazzled. Yeah,
I'm talking about buying from Kathy. I'm not talking about having a tank with sequins on it, Ed.
Well, you already have one of those.
All right, moving on. What else do we have?
I endorse the AIO from Joyetech.
I do too.
It's an Ed and James thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. And it uses stainless steel coils, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
It's a stainless steel
SS
coil. Forgot to
316.
mention that.
Yep.
0.5.
That is pretty good.
5.
Jerry,
Jerry, did you get something cool?
what you got?
I got something cool called the Coolfire IV TC100. So this is something new from Innokin. It looks just like the Coolfire 4 Plus. The Coolfire 4 Plus non-temperature control. This thing was, I think, 70 watts. And the temperature control version will do 100 watts. And it supports stainless steel, nickel, and titanium. So it has 3 modes you can go into. 3,300 milliamp hour battery in it. And the nice thing is they didn't clone anybody's chip. So the big buzz that they announced when they released this was they have this Aethon chip, which is their proprietary temperature control. Unlike somebody at Joyetech who decided to clone the A200, but we went down that road. So I was happy to take a look at this. I think the price, it's not out yet. I've seen it on pre-order, $40 to $50, somewhere in that range for just
Jerry?
the model.
Just a second, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yes. The coil in the AIO is the same coil as the Cubis. Go on.
Thank you, Ed.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
We interrupt this broadcast. An important PSA.
Go ahead, Jerry.
No, not much. Again, it's basically this. Vape. Does that one count?
It does. That one counts too.
They all count.
So it's got a little bit of a different menu system than the Coolfire 4. But other than that, it's basically the same form factor, same 3,300 milliamp hour battery. It's got a 2 amp charger in it, and
2 amp.
They claim 25 to 100 watt ramp up, and basically that's just the max. So it'll start out for whatever you set it for, and then it'll regulate. And the funny thing about this is and they do have a lot of different coils. They have stainless steel, they have Clapton coils, nickel 200s. So they do make all the different coils for the iSub tanks. They also sent along this iSub V tank. There it is. Which is just another version of their iSub system, uses the same coils as all the other iSub tanks. They claim this is their new flagship, but it's a pretty simple tank, top fill, nothing really unique, other than it is very noisy. Not your stealth vape tank. So
No movie theater vape for that thing.
no movie theater vape. But it's nice. I mean, sometimes you have temper control mods that don't sense a new coil when you screw a new addy on it. This one, every time you get a screen that basically asks you what type of I don't know if you can probably not even see that in focus, but it'll ask you what type of coil you're running. If it's the same coil, or you can choose between nickel, stainless, titanium, or you can put it into wattage mode if you're not into temperature control, or you can actually hold the plus button and the fire button at the same time, and you can force it to go into a mode where it'll select different wire profiles. The funny thing was I put my Derringer on this with a nickel build just to see how it reacted to something with less airflow. I have a single coil in there. Had it at 100 watts at about 450 degrees, and you can hear it for whatever reason. It kind of modulates as it bounces up against the temperature limit, and you can feel the vape,
kind of
cool
ebb
down.
and flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put it on the DNA 200, and that's how I had my K-Fun set at 100 watts before. But but compared to a DNA, the DNA is just, it's just a gradual trail off as you dry out the wicks, where this one pulses almost. So don't know why, but I guess that's how their software handles it. So it just keeps trying to put out that maximum instead of a gradual ramp down. It's just pulsing.
Yeah, we don't really have any equipment to test that, though, do we? Does Phil have any equipment that he's used to test temperature control, like to figure out if it's actually hitting the achieved temperatures and maintaining them?
I think he has a temperature probe that he puts into into the coil.
Yeah.
So you could do it with an external temperature probe. I mean, these things are all it's a relative, comparison, right? It's not an absolute measure of temperature.
Because you need all the information, the coefficient on the wire as well, to calculate that.
I mean, it was the experience was very similar on a DNA as far as where I had the temperature set. It was just, how it handled the limit. But again, it's under $50, so with a built-in battery, it's pretty cheap, and it's pretty and it's built really nice, the Coolfire. So, and by the way, we do have an extra one, James. I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to make this another giveaway. I got a Stormtrooper white.
The Grim Green Special.
We're probably going to do that one via the YouTube channel, because that way it gives the people who are catching the replay a chance at it, whereas this is a contest exclusively for live viewers. Speaking of which, Ed, did you log into the phones at all?
No.
Okay.
I should do that.
Probably do that.
All right, let me. Now, you touched on something, Jerry, that I never thought of before, and I was at a vape shop that I frequent here, and they made the point of when you screw on an atomizer on this device, that it tells you what the resistance is on the atomizer instantly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to push a button like on a DNA. You have to push a button first to see what the resistance is.
Right.
Does that just show it immediately? You don't have to push a button?
Let me see. So I just fired it without an atomizer. We screw it back on. So screwing it back on, it doesn't sense. So it's got 0 right now, and if you have to fire it, the minute you fire it, it asks you, is it the same coil or nickel, titanium, or stainless? Yeah, so you have to actually go through it. The interesting thing is, I mean, it's the profiles are really different, because I accidentally had this thing in nickel mode when using a stainless steel coil and vice versa, and it throws off the temperature completely. So it's definitely there's some pretty big differences in the coefficients between those wires.
We have a call.
We do. Uh-oh.
Yes. Miss F&K, you are on the air.
Hi, James. This
Yes,
buffering
ma'am.
bullshit is really, really bad, honey. It's like Gene trying to do a Stickum show on a 2 meg DSL package. It's
Oh,
that
really?
bad.
So it's really choppy?
Yeah, so mine keeps
No, it's
freezing.
not choppy. It just stops, and then it starts again.
Huh.
Then it stops.
So it might just be
I'm telling you,
Comcast.
it's like my Stickum shows.
Huh.
Turn off
don't know.
your porn.
I already did. I got nothing else to turn off.
Well, whatever's running in the background, stop watching your
Tell
porn.
people to
then.
stop downloading movies from you.
Yeah, that's what it is. I already shut all that off, but I don't know. It might just be Comcast messing around with me. Maybe some guy's got an unterminated cable touching a frying pan again, like they told me last time was a problem.
They're throttling your cable.
And we all know how James
Okay.
likes to be
I'll
throttled.
see you on Thursday, Jeannie.
Yeah, I won't derail your show anymore. I just wanted to
Please
mess with you
do.
a little bit, but I'll see the two of you. I'll see the two of you in 2 days, and you get hugs. And you other two, you bastards don't get any hugs because you're not showing up. Goodbye.
Oh,
I think Jeannie gets a sound effect.
Oh, she gets one too? I need to have this at the ready. I don't. There it is. All right.
Shit, I lost count.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Dane's got a spreadsheet with graphs.
For every time we play the sound?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, on my
Oh,
phone.
He's got a pie chart, so
Pie
he
chart.
knows
Pie
what
chart.
demographics were when.
Oh,
Mine
pie.
looks like a bear claw. Okay, so moving on.
Is that what he is?
One thing we wanted to talk about briefly was that I saw this post on Reddit, and then on Facebook, somebody had the original post came from Facebook, I believe. But basically, the vaping dude on Facebook put up these test results from somebody named Jeremy Medlock, and he did some testing on different types of wire, and he was using this machine here, which has a nice scary radiation warning
Machine.
on top of it. And I don't know what this
X-ray.
is. Is it an X-ray?
Yep, it's an X-ray handheld gold testing machine.
Huh.
Wow.
But
Dispersive X-ray fluorescence technique to detect metal properties.
so
it's
basically,
fucking dangerous. Excuse my French.
don't mess
Don't
with
hold it near the jewels, fellas.
Yeah,
it. Don't
exactly.
point it at your testes. Don't try to testes your testes.
No testing the testes.
Anyway, it can determine the metallurgical composition of wire
And cure
and
colon
other
cancer.
things.
And if you've got brass balls, then you can find out if they're really brass.
You can create colon cancer.
Very nice.
So you can see here we got hot wires at the bottom of this list, or top of the list here. Heating wire 6015 found in dryers and heaters, essentially nichrome 80. Royal wires is 304 SS welding wire, G-plat. Anarchist is nichrome 80. G-plat orange is 304 SS welding wire. And G-plat blue 316 SS, same as Mad Rabbit. I actually have some Mad Rabbit wire, which I guess is just 316 SS. So if you want to save some money, just buy that wire. Or just do like I do and just use Canthol. Because, hey, I don't know.
James and I, when
It
we
works.
first ran across this story, I got a little pissed. I did. I was like, those sons of bitches. I was a little mad.
I don't really use the exotic wires, so it doesn't matter to me. I mean, that's somebody else is spending money on that. That's
There was
it.
a lot of money on some of those.
You probably
And,
can't bring that thing on an airplane either. My guess.
I would imagine no.
There's some
Yeah.
red flags there beyond the battery.
All right, everybody's saying the show is buffering on YouTube. I haven't seen any frames drop on this end, which makes me think it is a problem with YouTube servers, and that means when the replay comes out, it should be free of buffer issues.
Yeah, because on
So-
VP Live Network, it seems to be.
It's perfect on VP Live.
Well, see, not for me. It keeps stopping.
No,
For me,
yeah.
it's freezing.
Well, that's just because of you. And
that's
then,
because of its the Arizona factor.
yeah, and I was looking at
the hot wire.
our opener, and it looks like the three of us have something. Oh yeah, Dane has an admiration of spending an evening with Magic Johnson. That's what was on there. Okay, so we can
Oh
move
yeah,
on.
no. The proper headline is Dane doesn't have AIDS from Magic Johnson yet. That's what it said up.
We're trying to think of something
that's
to put
true.
in there, because you didn't have any vape mail.
No, but I don't have AIDS from Magic Johnson either.
Maybe a little rape mail, but no vape mail.
Right mail.
Wow.
Hey, did you get right
We
mail
need
this
a
week?
bell to play when it's inappropriate. The inappropriate bell. We'll have to do that for next week for a giveaway. So we've got one other thing to cover here before we get to a couple of news stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that is the Sigelei Moonshot. So I did get a moonshot. Okay, what happened?
You got a moonshot.
Did
You
my
hit the wrong
video
button.
drop?
You're spinning. Your video
was
did
weird.
drop.
Oh, James has shitty internet.
All right.
Oh,
Now it
there's-
seems to be working. All right.
It's back.
Good. Okay. Sigelei Moonshot. And I was really skeptical about this guy at first because I'd heard a lot of people complain about them being very spitty. A lot of spit back with this. And the design made me think it would have that issue too because it's just this gigantic pseudo drip tip up here, which is actually a drip tip adapter, and it's straight through, and some gigantic juice flow holes and slots for airflow.
Now, is that a rebuildable or a replaceable coils?
No, it's a rebuildable. There are no pre-mades for this, but I did build it, and I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with it. I don't vape this way a lot because I just prefer a little bit tighter draw and higher nicotine content. But I've got some 5 milligram serendipity from Nixteria in here, and which I really like that juice. But there is one caveat here. This tank, I guess a lot of people have had trouble wicking it. You know, I've wicked it twice now, and I haven't had any issues. So I don't know. It might just come down to how you're wicking it. It's not leaking. It's keeping up with chain vaping. You will run through a tank really, really fast because I don't even know how much this holds. That's how horrible I am at reviews at this point.
3 mils?
But yeah, I think it's like 2.5 or 3 mils. And you can literally watch it drop as you take hits. But it does produce quite a bit of vapor. Oh, man. There we go. I don't have it at the ready.
Oh, my God.
Oh man.
This game sucks.
Yeah, it does. So, anyway, I guess if you're a cloud chaser, this is a great tank for you.
Cloud chasers.
Cloud chasers.
Cloud chasers.
Clouds for days.
Our good buddy Stanley. I haven't heard from Stanley in a while. I'm
Does
missing.
produce a decent cloud. But yeah, when you see these airflow, juice flow holes, when it sucks juice back into the coil, I mean, it just displaces so much juice from the tank. I filled this up just before the show started, and that's how much it dropped. So,
Just from
Airflow?
priming.
no, just basically from the little vaping that I've been doing on it, it's already dropped that far. So I have no doubt a heavy vapor can probably make it drop all the
And
way.
your video
Kept
dropped
dropping.
again.
Drop
it
it
really?
like so. Huh?
Yep. Your video dropped again.
Damn.
Well, you know,
Now it is back.
the question is it dropping? I don't see it dropping on what you
I don't
call
know.
it. Oh, it's only
All
dropping
right.
on Skype. So
Moving on.
I take that back. It dropped.
Did it drop?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
it
it's kinda
did not-
shifted. No, we're good.
It stays on
we're good.
XSplit. It stays up. So
Yeah, it stays on XSplit.
all right, Ed. What have we got?
Well, we have a story that Vapemau5, which is there a significance with the 5 on the end of there?
That's Deadmau5. It's not Vape
I mean-
Mouse.
Mouse.
Deadmau5.
Vapemau5
Sorry, vape on the mind. Oh,
or Deadmau5 5. I don't even know how he wants his name pronounced.
well,
I don't really
from
care.
what I've heard from other people, it is Deadmau5,
Okay.
and I could see the 5 being an S, whatever. But I'm just kind of curious. I should have done some research. But they're suing a vape company for trademark infringement. The dance music artist Joel Zimmerman, also known as Deadmau5, said that the West Coast Vape Supply Company has been intentionally infringing on the Deadmau5 trademark. In a federal lawsuit filed Thursday in California, Deadmau5 filed a lawsuit for trademark infringement and false association and is seeking statutory and damages. And
Somebody's
damages
replacing words
and
again.
a permanent injunction to ban West Coast Vape from using the Deadmodz electronic cigarette line. According to the lawsuit, the products overlap with closely related to Deadmau5's goods and services and or represent a natural zone of expansion for Deadmau5.
Yeah.
And such goods are or would be marketed and sold to the same types of people through the same channels of trade. Damn it, Jerry.
Why is it always me?
Joel's attorney, Irene Lee, said that we are
It wasn't
grateful
me.
for our fans and believe it's our obligation to make sure our fans are not duped into buying things that Deadmau5 did not authorize.
So,
What do you
so
think
my
about that,
takeaway
James?
from this, if you look at this statement: the products overlap with and are closely related to Deadmau5 goods and services and represent a natural zone of expansion for Deadmau5, and such goods are or would be marketed and sold to the same types of consumers through the same channels of trades. So unless this is simply posturing from their law firm, Deadmau5 is contemplating expansion in the vapor products market. So that's the way that reads to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And Joel, I'm going to call you Joel because Deadmau5 is bullshit. You're a douchebag. Okay? So go ahead and sue me, Joel.
Well,
you're a douchebag.
This isn't the first time I heard this, and if you go to Deadmod's website, they are playing the same style of music that Deadmau5 creates.
Yeah.
Their fonts are the same as Deadmau5's fonts. So it's a very similar website from when you go to his. So I kind of understand where they're coming from.
Well, I mean, I can kind of see it from the logo perspective too. I mean, it's similar. It's not the same.
But from what I understand, it used to be Dead On, and then they made some changes after they got letters and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I've got like an old. Yeah, so here's an image. Let me pull this up.
I don't like Deadmau5 anyway.
yeah, only a cat likes dead mice.
All right, so this is the old Deadmodz logo, I believe. You can see right there. He's got little accent marks above the letters. They've got accent marks, and it's all together with that same font where the letters are interconnected. So that alone, I don't know. But you know what? We've seen more heinous trademark infringements and violations. I mean,
That's a fact. And let's remember that besides the font, and look, the music can be different. It can be different. And the font is probably pretty much public domain now. But if this guy is going to sue because it's something he did not endorse and he's getting into the vapor market, he's suing on futures and he's a moron.
Skype just told me I had to add more credit in order to stay connected to the call. That's weird.
See, I agree with Chad. No one should know who Deadmau5 is. I agree.
Yeah.
Call him Joel. His name is Joel, and let's call him Joel the douche.
And
I
apparently
think
he's
that
really
works.
big over in the UK, so they fly him all over the world.
So that's it for Deadmau5.
Yeah, that story is dead.
That was good, Dave. That was
Your
that was a good
Vape, Your
segue.
Voice, Gawker's 2016 GOP presidential town hall. So Gawker had this article up there, and basically it was an open letter to Ted Cruz, John Kasich, Donald Trump, inviting them to respond and give their stance on vaping-related regulations and on vaping in general. And, you know, there's obviously a lot of hot-button topics that the presidential candidates have weighed in on, both the Democrats and the Republicans. But that's one that they haven't really touched on at all. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you can't forget, we talked about Grover Norquist from Americans for Tax Reform saying that was probably going to be, you know, the election at the presidential level is going to be determined by the vaping community. We didn't entirely agree with that, but I do think it's an important issue, and I think there's enough people that vape and enough people that believe in tobacco harm reduction to where it's something that the candidates should weigh in on.
Yep.
To the best of my knowledge, there has been no response to the Gawker call for opinions from the candidates, but maybe that's forthcoming. We'll keep an eye on it. So, I don't know.
Watch Donald Trump. What's an e-cig? He doesn't even know. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't even know.
That wouldn't surprise me.
His children couldn't register to vote in time.
He'll just make Trump brand e-cigs because they'll be fabulous. They'll be the best e-cigs in the world.
Surprising that you say that, because there are branded e-cigs in Vegas, and the more casinos you go to now, you're going to start seeing more of them. Now they are sticks and Sigelei's, but I saw them the last time I was there, and they're branded with the hotel's logos on them, and you can get them all around. And I would not be a bit surprised if he did that. It's not at all.
Except his hotel has no casino.
Didn't he have one in Atlantic City, or did that close?
I think
e-cigs
closed. The one in Vegas is just a hotel. It's no.
Yeah,
no
it is. Yeah, it's just a hotel.
Those e-cigs would be a fail because it'd be just like Trump University. They just kind of disappear.
Trump water.
There'd be no vapor.
Airlines.
Yeah. I love how, man, I don't want to get political, but I love how people are talking about how Trump is going to approach everything like a businessman. I mean, if you look at how much manipulation and how many failed businesses this guy has had, and how many times he has taken money from people and then just disappeared or filed bankruptcy or whatever it is. I mean, that's aside from all the other obvious issues.
I mean, I heard something that, wasn't he writing a book and it starts at chapter 13?
But Dane will be happy because he'll default on all those loans we have out with China.
Yep, that's right. Fuck the Chinese. Let them sit on it.
All right. We had a noble goal. We were going to try to keep profanity out, but now.
Look, I edited. Yeah, let me. There's a few disclaimers I got to make about the next segment, and that is that I edited all of the bad potty mouth language out because clearly I'm being censored here.
Not by me, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Not by me. Rip away.
I'm busting his balls. That's all. No, but I took all the swearing out of there. But so we'll wax over that. But
because we want Innokin to give us stuff.
Let me first say that Phil Basardo this week, or last week now, I suppose, or whenever it was, because I'm so lost on time. He actually did a little op-ed on Taste Your Juice while he was in the UK, and he put a little bit of a rant up on his page. I will preface this by saying I don't always agree with Phil Basardo. I know that may be shocking to some, but I do not. I think Phil's a little rah-rah sometimes when he shouldn't be, and this is one of those instances where I think that he was absolutely spot on. So Phil begins on his blog, and he says, do you not understand? Now, this is written by Phil Basardo. Do you not get it? We're not fighting for your right to have childish labels such as Blue Waffle and FU something K. Jerry's, by the way, proudly made in the USA on that brand, Jerry's. Made him sick and embarrassed, and I agree with that 100%. We're not fighting for your copyright infringement, lack of creativity BS, Quickie E-Juice. We're not fighting for your right to embarrass this industry. We're not fighting for those who say screw you to all the advocates who fight for this industry and our right to vape. What we are fighting for is your right to not watch your mother, father, sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather, or your best friend lie in bed dying of cancer. This is not cloud competitions and half-naked women, which I very much enjoy, and Phil does too. This is life and death. Do me a favor and act like it. Sorry, gang, I'm bitter as all something tonight, but I will get past
bitter as what?
Bitter as all fuck is actually what he said, but he'll get past it. By the way, for all you who throw sub-ohming, high wattage, trick vaping, cloud chasing, and really fun time under the bus, you do not get it. We need this. We need cloud competitions. See, I disagree with that a bit. We need events to be fun and exciting. I do agree with that. For the younger generation or those who need it, this keeps people interested, engaged, and passionate about vaping and off the cigarettes. And really, that's the most important thing there. Learn to live with it and deal with it. Learn to respect it as long as they respect back, and do it respectively. Do I think it's good for the industry? No, I agree. Do I think it'll win us any popularity contest? No. And I think that's one of the most important factors to keep in mind. If this is something I wouldn't do in the halls of Congress, I'm not going to do it in front of media, period. Do I think it should be done with reason and respectably? Yes, I agree with that as well. Do I have concerns about exposure? Yes. And this is also one of my biggest concerns is exposure, because for every bit of positive vaping news we have 10 stories that aren't. And that pendulum needs to swing the other way. Phil goes on and says, do I think it's necessary? Yes, but there must be balance. We need a mature and professional representation of this industry. That is absolutely true. Something we can be proud of, something we can all get behind. It's not how you vape that's most important. It is that you vape that means the most. It's that you don't smoke anymore, and that's what's most important. It's the one thing that binds us no matter how we vape. Can you understand that? And to me, that is the epitome of this story. It's that understanding about not what you vape. And so many times, I've said it in reviews way back when I did them, it's not about the bottle. It's about what's in the bottle. Stop marketing the bottle. Stop, and market what's in the bottle. He goes on to say this industry needs to wake up, and many, but not all vapors, need to do the same, James included. Event coordinators need to be aware of who is on their floor and ban those who embarrass this industry and jeopardize it due to how they represent it and themselves. Now, let me talk about this sentence here for a minute. When we start self-policing like this, especially at big events like this, we start treading on very thin ice, and we walk a very thin line. And I think we need to be very careful about how we approach something like that. Do I think that the guidelines need to be clear? Yes. For both vendors and for attendees? Yes, absolutely. Do I think that charging people at big events would help these things? No, I really don't. Money has nothing to do with behavior. We've already seen it in this industry, and I don't think it's going to make a bit of difference. So Phil finishes by saying, what we are fighting for is your right to not watch your mother, father, sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather, or your best friend lying dead, dying of cancer. Let's wake up. Let's grow up. Let's represent this industry in the best possible light, and let's realize just how important this is. And it is. It is very important. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Phil's rant?
Yeah, one of the things that I think here is, well, for one thing, he says we need the cloud competitions. And then he talks about we need the events to be fun and exciting for the younger generation or those who need it. This keeps people interested. Okay, so, right now there is legislation in Illinois to change the smoking age to 21.
Yep.
If that goes through, the estimated impact, and I've talked to a bunch of different shop owners, I've tried to figure out, what percentage of their sales is, legal sales still, but that
right.
Younger demographic, okay? And we're just talking about legal sales here. And it is a large number. And the majority of it, it's upwards of 40%, which is a pretty good chunk of what they're making that is going to be taken away. And that's just the 18 to 21 crowd.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't feel, maybe it's because I'm older and because I view this as a reduced harm alternative to smoking, but I don't feel that you need to make it a spectator sport. And I guess that's where Phil and I differ. Because
I think the whole sport and competition aspect of this is complete lunacy. And I think what's happened, at least in my opinion, and this is mine, not Phil's, is that this industry has grown so rapidly and so exponentially, and with every demographic exponentially. And I think that's an important discerning point to make here, is that every demographic has grown very, very large. And those demographics don't necessarily fit together within the confines of lifestyle, right?
Right.
So we have very, very different people at the same event. Now, and I'll catch a little crap for this, but I don't care. I'm fine. We call this community. That is a joke, because if this were a community, these issues wouldn't exist, would they? We wouldn't have to be scolding younger people, or older people for that matter, about how to conduct themselves in a responsible way in public, especially when it comes to vaping platforms. We wouldn't need to do that. So we need to figure out a way to I would not be a bit discouraged or at all, and I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't if cloud competitions went away forever. You want to hold them at the local level, that's great. You don't need to hold them at national. You really don't. It's unnecessary.
And this is the thing we said way back, when Phil and I were at Vape Blast and that mod exploded there. We just said this is scrutiny that is preventable. Mm-hmm. This is a situation that is preventable, and it's scrutiny that's unnecessary on an industry that's in a growth phase. Things are still in flux, and I still believe that's true. I mean, especially when you consider this next story we're going to be talking about a possible ban on ecigs and carry-on bags from the FAA. I mean, yes. And that is ludicrous in and of itself. We're going to get to that in a second, but before we move on here, somebody brought up, and I wish I could remember the site. I read the comment to Dane, but there was a website and it was talking about, how have vapor products changed your life? And this guy said he was going to be brutally honest, and it wasn't going to be a popular opinion, and said, look, I smoked a pack a day for X amount of years. He was a lifelong smoker, and then he switched to vapor products, started out on 24 milligram, and vaped the hell out of a mod with 24 milligram, got down to 6 milligram. He said now he just views it as a pacifier, and that's fine.
Yep.
But he is very cognizant of the fact that he needs this, and it is a pacifier, it is a crutch, and this is what keeps him off cigarettes. And he's fine with it. He doesn't view it as something he needs to cease and desist because it's nicotine intake. He's got a maintenance mode, basically. He has found his maintenance level for it. And that's actually a pretty good way to view it.
It sure is.
But that's for smokers. And I think the difference here, and the thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about, is that when you start glorifying vape tricks and cloud comps and glitzy mods and e-liquids and all these things, and I understand this isn't a popular opinion, but guess what? If this show is a ticking time bomb and I get ostracized because of my opinion, so be it, because that's part of what we wanted, was to have a platform to discuss things and to say things that maybe wouldn't be popular. The truth is, this is intended for adults, and I'm recognizing that not all of the youths that are using e-cigarettes are minors. A great deal of them are of legal smoking or vaping age, but at the same time, it's now separating things into two different camps: recreational vapors and those who vape because otherwise they would smoke.
Right. Yeah, so, there has to be a ground for those two things to coalesce and move forward. And I don't think we found it yet. I've always been hopeful that we will. But it hasn't, and I wish it would. There's nothing worse, and advocates will tell you, and they have been for months, and some for even years, that there's nothing worse than being an advocate and going to fight for a cause and having to live down vapos and vapor vortexes on tables in public displays of ridiculousness. You can't explain that away. And at this crucial point in time, those things, people judge based by those single actions alone.
You know what? The more troubling thing is just that, you can go on to like Vine or one of those sites like that with the clips, and see, underage users doing vape tricks and emulating what they see. And I understand there's no way to police that. Granted, there's videos of kids smoking.
Well, this is where I disagree, because that kid who is putting out a Vine, somebody's buying him his vape gear, or somebody's selling it to him.
Right.
And that's where it needs to stop.
Right.
Because at the brick and mortar level, that kid shouldn't be able to walk into a store at 15 years old and buy a tricked out mod or a 200-watt mod or an unregulated box mod and blow clouds on Vine and start making a spectacle of himself. He shouldn't even have that mod in his hand. And to me, it falls on two people. Obviously, parents are first and foremost, because they're the ones who put these kids here. And second off, it's brick and mortar owners. Stop looking for a buck and stop selling it to these guys. Card and card hard.
Are we sure it's coming from brick and mortars too? Because
and that's the thing. You have online avenues. You have tobacco shops that sell vapor products. You have all these different outlets. So I guess my point is that I don't think it's going to be that easy to enforce it by just saying brick and mortars, you need to get your act together. Yes, that's going to reduce it to some extent, but illicit. Think about back to when you were a kid. I mean, if you really wanted a nudie mag or a pack of cigarettes or a beer, couldn't you get one?
I did it the old-fashioned way. I walked in, sucked it up, and I fucking bought them. And if I couldn't buy them, well, then my brother could. So I would always make him do it. But, I started smoking at a relatively young age, and they were pretty lax, too. I mean, should those shop owners have ever sold me cigarettes? No.
Look, Dr. Abad has a good point. Vaping is fun. That's why it works. And I am all for that. I don't want to see flavors restricted. I feel like that is a invalid argument when they say, well, if we only had tobacco and menthol, then, this would be, it's going to reduce the appeal, but it's also going to reduce the effectiveness. The effectiveness for current smokers or people who are looking to make a switch. It's definitely going to reduce the effectiveness of this product if they limit the flavors. But there's some stuff that just seems very superfluous to me. And maybe it's because I'm older now. That might be part of it.
And I am older, and that's why it's John Abad says, but if the kids aren't using nicotine, should we care? Yeah, we should care. Because we don't know there isn't nicotine in their device, and neither does the media. Those videos that they put out on Vimeo and the Vines that they put out everywhere else, nobody knows if there's nicotine in there or not. And unless we have testing strips like dipping urine vials, there's no way we're going to find out. So, no, to me they shouldn't have them. With that being said, somebody had asked me. They said, if your kid was a smoker, would you give him? If you caught him with cigarettes, would you give him a vaping device? And my answer was yes, because I would much rather he got nicotine in that form and eliminate more of the deadly chemicals than not. Now, if these kids' parents condone them vaping, well, then those parents need to speak up as well. Because instead of the vapor industry getting a black eye for these kids vaping, then their parents should step up and take some of the heat instead of throwing the industry under the bus. And say, hey, look, I'm okay with my kid vaping because I'd rather he get his nicotine that way. And believe me, a lot more of those parents saying exactly those things, it goes a long way in the constituency arena with politicians as well. Because they're like, well, wait a minute, let's take a look at this. If parents are okaying this, let's take a look at these.
Ed, Jerry, any thoughts?
Well, I mean, is it... You talk about the cloud competitions and the kids doing all these tricks, but is that really the reason the industry's come under fire? I mean, you hit at the root cause before. It's kind of the lack of responsibility shown at the brick and mortar level, I think, to a degree, where you're putting mods in hands of people that don't have proper training, don't know what they're doing. It's guys out for the money grab. It's all the copyright infringements. And right now, what's in the news the most? It's either bad science, educating people who don't vape, who are not in the community, telling them that this is actually more harmful, This is a cancer-causing habit when they don't have any basis for that, for those statements. So I said it before. I think the biggest risk to the community is people outside the community whose opinions are being shaped by the mass media and the bad science being thrust upon us, right? That, and now every other day it's an exploding mod, which is what is propelling this bill now to ban any e-cigarettes on planes. Right. So to Phil's point, I don't think the cloud comps and the guys doing tricks are the issue at all. I mean, that's at least from my point of view, that's not why the industry is under attack.
I'll tell you what a politician told me once, and Matt Morales, who was once on our show, he and I met with the city council and the mayor of Tempe, and we had lunch with them, and they actually came to vape shops with us. Some of the council people came to vape shops with us. One of the first things that they had mentioned when they walked into a brick and mortar store was the qualification of the person not only mixing their e-liquid, which they did at the shop we went in, the people selling the device, and the lack of information about all of it. That was one of the first things they picked apart. They walked in there and they said, well, who's making it? Don't you need some type of chemistry background to be mixing a volatile liquid like nicotine with other liquids? And to a degree, they have a point, right? Because if you're selling it retail and you're selling it to people that even are of legal vaping age, which is 18, 19, 20, and 21, you want to make sure that you're putting out a relatively safe product within the confines of tobacco harm reduction. So that to me is key. When any politician can walk in any brick and mortar that mixes in their store, and they can pick apart the qualifications of just about anybody in there. That's where the industry needs to change for me, personally.
Yeah.
For me.
Going back to cloud comps and things like that, I'm torn on it because, they're fun for the young crowd, and I got to understand that. But in certain situations, it's also not good. So it's like, for fun, yes, but then it puts a bad look. It's like, oh, how do you like make a decision on, is it actually a bad thing? We used to make a game out of everything when we were kids. We used to throw quarters at a wall or at a crack in the sidewalk. I mean, we find ways to make games out of everything.
Look, it's fun. I'm not going to deny it. I mean, I went to Alt Smoke for their 1 year anniversary, and I was in a cloud comp, the one and only that I've ever participated in. But it was still fun.
Did you win?
Yes, I actually did win.
You bastard.
But Rod was judging it, so that may have been.
No wonder why. So it was.
He may have thrown the contest.
It's rigged.
Yeah, and Dr. Abbott said something else that was really good in chat. He said, let me see if I can pull it up here. It might have been lost, but basically he said, vaping is also a diversion for kids who might have otherwise smoked. And we're going to play a video from the U.S. Attorney General that did an interview with Michael and Susan Dell Foundation. And in that video, he brings up the fact that there's more kids that are vaping, and he never acknowledges the fact that smoking rates among youth have been on the decline. And it's been a rather sharp decline over the last few years as availability of vapor products has gone up. So I'm not going to deny that there's a substitution there for something that is a reduced harm product. So I'm all for it in those situations, but that's the caveat. In those situations where you know your child smoked and now they switched, I'm all for it if that's the situation. Let's move on to this. I don't know. Ed, do you have anything else to add on this one? Okay, let's move on to the story about the FAA reauthorization.
Yeah, this is the big story this week, and this comes from SPADA as well. The U.S. Senate may consider a ban of e-cigs and carry-on bags and checked baggage now on flights. Next week, the Senate is scheduled to debate the FAA reauthorization on the Senate floor. Senator Blumenthal from Connecticut has proposed an amendment, which is, we all know, SA3547, that will expand the list of hazardous products to vapor devices and prohibit them from being carried on all flights. That's domestic, international, period, from this country, or well, originating in this country. I don't know if they're going to do it in Europe or anywhere else, but they're doing it here. Vapor products are already prohibited from being used on flights and from being included in checked baggage. This additional prohibition will force customers to leave their products at home when traveling, once again making it more difficult for the millions of people who have chosen these products over combustible tobacco products. Now, SA 3547, as it was written, is thusly: A, in general, not later than 180 days after the date of the enactment of this act, the administrator of the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration shall, in coordination and consultation with the administrator of the FAA, 1, finalize the interim final rule of the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration. There needs to be a good acronym for that somewhere. Issued October 30th, 2015, pertaining to e-cigarettes, and expand the rule to prohibit the carrying of battery-powered portable electronic smoking devices in checked baggage and in carry-on baggage. B, the definition. In this definition, the term battery-powered portable electronic smoking devices means e-cigarettes, e-cigs, which is the same thing, e-cigars, e-pipes, e-hookahs, personal vaporizers, and electronic nicotine delivery systems. Thoughts there, gentlemen?
To me, the most heinous part of this bill is the fact that I can carry this on a plane. And I'm sure some of you have something like this. This is a Anchor, I think this is a Power Core.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
I have one.
Yep, Power Core Plus. Okay, so this is the maximum capacity allowed by the FAA in a single pack at 26,800 mAh. And I love this thing. I use it constantly. It'll charge my iPad a couple times, charge my Note 5 like 7 or 8 times, something ridiculous. Plus, I usually have a dual charger plugged in here, and I'm charging, USB devices off of it as well. This has, well, let me just show you. I'm going to show you instead. Let me show you what's inside this pack, because this is pretty interesting here. Okay, so this guy's got the pack. I'll turn the volume down because that's not really important. This is the same pack that I'm holding in my hands right now. And I'm going to seek through this video a little bit, and I'm going to get to the part where he actually gets to what's inside it. And you'll see this looks very, very familiar. This has 8 Panasonic 18650s in it. That's what's inside it. And yet this is completely legal to carry on an airplane and is considered normal. The FAA has a whole website filled with guidelines on what you're allowed to carry on in personal electronics, in your carry-on baggage, and this is included there, of course. And you can see it uses the same type of power cells that we use in our devices. So, I went on a plane a couple months ago to California. I carry a flashlight all the time, so I've got a little baggie with 16 340s in it. I think these RCR 123s, yeah. So I carry these on. Theoretically, you're still going to be able to carry your 18650s on with you, as long as they're stored in some sort of a store-a-cell or a baggie or something that's covering the connectors. But if it's vape related, it's forbidden. And that's the most.
If you pop the battery out of your e-cigarette?
Jerry, that was my point earlier. James and I were talking pre-show, and I said, what if you have one of those mods with a removable 18650 battery, and you take them out of there and you take a tank off? Because you can carry a tank and a drip tip and juice in a bag on a carry-on. What if you took the batteries out? You're unable to vape it because you have one piece down below and you have another piece up above. So how could you possibly vape that?
Is this going to push more people to smuggle their batteries in their check luggage, which is even worse?
Yeah. It's true.
Well, they're allowed to take batteries. That's the interesting thing. And that's why I don't understand. If you have a device that has a removable battery pack or a removable cell, let's take the, what is it, the Rollo? Rolook?
Yeah.
Rouleau, yeah.
Whatever.
Rouleau.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Rouleau.
Yes. Anyway, you take that. It's got 3 18650s out in it. You take those out, it is incapable of firing without the batteries. And you have your batteries in a storage cell. There's no way they can tell you that what you have there with that vape device is going to cause any type of an issue. And that's where there should be some sort of provisional language in this.
Which should never happen.
And see, I agree with you, Jerry. And that's why when I first read this, and I said it in our pre-show meeting last night, this is the most horribly written piece of legislation I've ever seen. Because what it says without saying it in particular is we don't want vape products on planes, period. Because that's clearly what this is about.
Because the TSA agent's not going to stand there and debate with you that the Rouleau has no batteries in it. To him, it's an e-cigarette. The law is clear. His training is probably very basic. You're not allowed on the plane, which scares the shit out of me because I'm going to tell you a lot of people are going to take their e-cigs and throw it in their check bag.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen people do all sorts of stupid shit at airports. I've seen, I got off a plane on the tarmac. They were refueling and somebody lit a fucking cigarette. Excuse my language. When they got off the plane, it was a JetBlue flight. They deplaned from the back entrance. They were right in front of me and lit an e-cigarette as they stepped over the fuel line going to the plane. People are idiots. I swear to God. And how many people are going to take that e-cig and just throw it in their check bag? Hey, you know,
a lot.
And take the risk that it's not going to be detected, which you're pushing people to do more dangerous things to get their e-cigs on a plane. Thank you very much.
Yeah, if we're giving out a bag of dick awards this week, it definitely goes to
Blumenthal.
To Blumenthal, to Senator
And
Blumenthal.
that bill, that's a rider on a tax bill too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
they're
absolutely
trying to
correct.
get that through.
Although I'm going to take a minute here and probably make a few more people mad, but I really want to say it because I watched a video come out last night with somebody who claimed or was a part of the vaping militia because the logo was all over his video, talking about soul-sucking Democrats, and if this were, you know, a Republican, this would never happen. Let me say this: I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican. And secondly, and most importantly to me, vaping militia, I don't give a good shit who you back in any election. I don't care. I never have. And
I don't think he was affiliated with the militia. He just had a logo.
Had the logo all over his video.
Yeah. If Big Tobacco contributes to your super PAC, you're going to sponsor bills like that.
Yeah, stop with the political wrangling on either side. The fact of the matter is it doesn't matter who wrote this. It's bad legislation. It's bad.
Just a moment. Area code 408, if you want to talk to us, please push 1. Go on.
Was that it?
Yeah, they don't.
It's bad legislation.
Yeah.
It is horribly written, and it was an attack on e-cigs, and they need to just clarify it and say, look, we don't want e-cigs on planes, period, and just prohibit e-cigs for not batteries. Don't put it under the ambiguous argument of batteries because it holds no water. Just say we don't want e-cigs on planes, and we'll fight it that way too because it's going to be fought no matter what.
Well, that's okay because Ed the Green is going to try to take his hoverboard on a plane next time.
We told him to ride it on. We want to see Ed ride that thing on.
Yeah.
Oh man. And you talked about giving the FAA the bag of dicks, but I already had a bag of dicks winner picked out. I guess maybe we could split the award.
That's true.
Between both of them, because these are old pictures, but nonetheless, this has got to be the least appealing company name that I've ever heard of.
Huh.
Ass Juice, and their slogan is "Vape That Ass."
Yeah.
And I understand. Look, I know there's all these people that are saying don't even pay them any mind, don't give them any promotion because that's what they thrive off of. It's just, dude, this is ludicrous. At this point, it's so juvenile, and I don't know. If this is part of us all getting together for the big cause, I don't get it, because I don't see how something like that has any place in this industry. But, hey, they're there, so...
All right, we'd like to call up to the podium Mr. So-and-so, the proprietor Ass Juice. Could you please come up and give me your
get your Bag of Dicks award, and the FAA also. So there you go. That's the award winners for the week. I don't know. I hope you're still counting these.
I am. Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we're almost done. We are almost done this week. Jerry, what have we got? Scientific research.
Scientific research on vaping pharmaceutical drugs could kill pain kills. So vaping is not just a trend piece fodder anymore. It's a mainstream habit. Still, despite the best efforts of the vaping congressman, it hasn't exactly become a routine part of everyday life. Vaping is not a major part of non-Bluetooth headset-wearing American lives, but it could be in the not-too-distant future that medical science may make vaporizers as ubiquitous as the outdated thermometers going unused in our drug cabinets. So right now, a few pharmaceutical companies are exploring the use of vaporizers for medical purposes. So vaping may be an effective way to deliver drugs to patients' bodies faster, more effectively, and with less danger than current methods. The thinking goes that vaporizers deliver the drugs faster than pills, which need to be digested, and vaping is also less painful than periodic injections. So they go on to talk about the effects of medicinal marijuana, which in a study, 45% reduction in pain intensity just after 20 minutes after the first inhalation. But that's just one thing. So Alexa Pharmaceuticals just wrapped up a phase 2 study, and the results showed promise in helping reducing seizures caused by photosensitivity by vaping an anti-seizure medicine. One drug maker did try to pilot this with insulin. It was a Sanofi product called Afrezza, and actually my company was somewhat involved with making the technology to vape insulin. And part of the reasons that didn't work out very well is because they didn't do a very good job with communicating this to insurance companies, so it became expensive and it wasn't widely marketed to diabetics as an alternative, but it gave them obviously a better way of getting nicotine. Nicotine. Oh man, no. of getting insulin, so it would react faster to control their blood sugar levels, and plus they wouldn't have to, inject themselves 1 or 2 times a day. So, just to skim through this potentially is an interesting way. So vaping may actually morph into a way to deliver painkillers, anti-seizure medicines. They've already tried it with insulin. So maybe that what that does for vaping in general, I don't know. But I don't know what impact it would have on us as a community. But it certainly puts it in a better light.
It does, especially for the potential that it has as a delivery system for all of these drugs.
My question is this: so, it would seem like the best application for this would be for someone that has to take regular doses throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's why the insulin would make the most sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me,
yeah, you think about drugs that you take on a regular basis for things that affect immediate health, like pain management, seizures. Seizures is a big one. Diabetics is a big one. People with heart disease. These are huge.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's going to be something that adds legitimacy. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yep, absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. Yeah, I think you just saw. Did you just look at chat over there?
Yes, I did. I looked at chat. There's
That's
horrible insults being flung back and forth. And now they must be.
I'll tell you, one day we're going to have to do a show that is nothing but it's like turning the tables.
Behind the scenes.
No
Like
holds
all
barred.
behind the scenes, so people can actually see what goes on, especially with these show docs and in chat and things like that, and all of these little cues that go on. It's good.
All right.
It's on a roll today. He's like he's on a roll.
We were going to play this video. We're going to save it for the next show because we are out of time, but we do have that mod to give away. So if you are going to call in, then call in now.
Call in right now. The first
That's right.
caller will get that lovely AO mod.
Well, they have to have the right answer.
And they have to have the right answer. That's correct.
Yeah.
Tell
Where's
us
the
how
phone
many
line
times the
screens? Here we go.
foghorn went off.
There you go. 347-308-8329. Again.
That is our number.
First
Call
caller
it. Keep Ed
with the
busy
right
because
number.
obviously he needs something to do.
And the foghorns have officially ended.
Yes, the
And
foghorns
obviously we had tons of buffering issues, so we may not get any right answers.
Nick Sternal says, "Screw that. Call me." He wants us to call him.
All right, here we go. Area code
I'm muted.
430.
You're not muted.
You're not muted.
I'm not muted.
Not muted.
She could have just called us all assholes right there and just absolutely got away with it.
Is that
Obvi-
Par?
No. Hi.
Hi.
There's Par.
I thought I
Par is
recognized your
disqualified. Goodbye.
No.
That's mean.
voice. How many horns?
He's mean to me.
He is mean. He's
Oh, 6.
6.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the issue is that I recorded one set of hash marks and Dane recorded another, and we're off.
No,
We don't have the right numbers.
I was marking them down too, and Dane is correct.
there we go.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Dane is
All
correct.
right. Sorry, Kathy.
Where'd
but I
that
will
one
see
caller
you.
go? Hey, caller, call back because Par can't count.
Call back. Yeah,
Yeah, call back.
Flash that number up there again.
I just
Okay.
guessed. I wasn't even listening.
It was.
She was,
It was.
listening to Dimitri's show. That must have been-
That's right. That's right. missed
She
the
just
first
guessed.
one because she was listening to Dimitri.
Par, you're fired.
Oh, crap. Can I collect
Of course, she
unemployment now? All right. I'll
see you,
see y'all in a
Vape
couple
Bash.
days.
Hey, wait.
All
If I would say if nobody calls within the next 60 seconds, Par gets it.
All right.
Being the only one who called
There you
in
go.
close.
Yeah, if nobody calls
Yeah.
in with the right answer within
We
the
can
next
leave Par
60
on. Just put
You
Par on
better
hold.
call.
No, she can talk. So
Oh, she can hang
Par,
out.
what
Yeah,
time are
that's
you
true.
coming in on Thursday?
We will be there. I think Jeannie lands at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I get in at 7:30 a.m.
Oh, so you're not going to leave Jeannie at the airport this time? Okay, good.
No,
Or
I
Jeannie's
will
gonna
not.
Jeannie
Someone
wants to
come
know if
get
we were
me.
counting the cuss words.
We don't have a number that high.
Jeannie's cuss words. Yeah, that's a drinking game.
That is a
That
drinking game.
That is
Although
official
if we had a
drinking
drinking
game.
game for cuss words in
That
our
is a drinking
Skype
game.
chat,
Oh.
we would all be smashed.
We have another caller at 408, and 408, you are on the air. Who are we talking to?
Yeah, this is Castello.
Hey, Castello.
What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, you got? Did you count? Do you know how many we had?
I think it was 43.
Yes, that's it. He wins. That's because he had-
put that number in chat. No,
He
he
had
had
to-
2 in there.
He had to keep replaying the same segment, so it actually did fire off 43 times. Oh, man.
That's a good answer.
It is. It is. Doggone.
Well,
okay,
Should we just have a
46.
trivia question?
I would say Par was the closest
72.
without going. What?
He's making more guesses now.
Oh, Par
We
was
had
the
a whole show
closest
full of
without
nothing
going
but Sean
over.
Hogwarts.
All right. Should we just do a trivia question?
Yeah.
I think you need take that picture from Skype, and if anything counts the belly hairs on James's belly in this picture, you win.
I'm telling you, that's not me.
Well, we're gonna call it you.
I mean,
We
granted,
could put
there's
that
Guns
picture-
and Guitar Hero.
We can put that
In the
picture up
picture.
and see who comes up with the funniest comment.
I don't know. With our audience, it could get pretty good.
It could. Oh man. All right. What could we request from this picture? That how many objects?
Hold on a second. Let me see. Count the number of
Bullets.
Oh, Jesus. I was going to say count the number of magazines, but you can't do that. Let's make it easy. Count the number of guns. How many guns are there?
All right. Yeah, but can they both see the screen? Par and Costello, can you guys see the screen?
Costello dropped and Par's still. Yeah, that's another thing. If anybody, well,
We're still here.
Okay, well then Par wins. That's it.
Yeah,
but
Par
we'll,
wins. And
we'll still show the picture.
you don't have to.
We'll
ship
still show the picture anyway.
We'll still
just because
still
it's
show the
great.
picture because it's that heinous.
No, it's great. This picture is great. This is a picture of James's Christian Mingle
Profile
dating
picture.
site profile page.
Oh,
He met
man.
his lovely wife with this particular picture. Won her over.
Yes, she loves Guitar Hero and guns.
She likes guitars
obviously.
and guns, and that belly hair is bitching. Although that reverse skid mark has got to go. I don't know how you get rid of that. But that inner thigh right there, it's got
Oh
to go.
man, yeah. It's the hair implants. That's what improved my look the most.
Is that where they get those hair implants from? Ew.
What was that part?
All right.
He's a hair plug donor.
Well,
Okay, Par, you get hand
congratulations.
delivery at Vape Bash.
Yeah, she can
There you
have.
go.
That's true. Hand delivery. That's pretty good.
It
Ooh, no.
saves me on
Yay,
shipping
and a
too.
hug.
No, make it worse. Ship it to her so she's got to wait till she gets back home after Vape Bash to get it.
He did that one time.
I did.
Deadman, he's a cloud
That's
chaser.
true.
You know, we said that too, and I'm guessing that his name is Earl. That's at least that's what I'm calling.
All right, that's it for the show tonight, folks. Thank you
Sorry.
for joining us.
Sorry, Jay. This is still the only one in existence. Sorry.
You should
All right,
probably
I'm
tell
gonna
them
jump
what
off
it
here.
is.
I will see you guys in a couple days.
Yep.
All right, take it easy, Par. See
On a
ya.
bash. On a bash. All right, are we doing an after show this week?
I can't. I can fire it up though. And you guys can do it if you
No,
want.
that's all right. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, we're
I can watch a
uh,
movie. Oh no, wait, I can't because now this.
Ed and I are going to be at the Vape Bash.
Yes, Ed and James will be at Vape Bash. Say hello to them for us. Jerry and I will be at home. Well, I won't be at home. I'll be in Tahoe, but Jerry will be at home.
I will be home holding the fort.
If you need to find me, just send me a PM on Facebook and I'll get it.
And Ed will sell you a selfie with James.
Throw a prayer out there to the green. All right.
And anybody who's going to Bash, I'll keep Ed busy. Take him. Everybody, bring your K Fun and bring it to Ed and have him coil it for you. He's really good at it.
I don't think Ed even rebuilds anymore. He just uses
he
pre-made
does.
coils, doesn't he?
Yeah, for the most part, I use pre-made coils. And we didn't talk about this, but I was talking to Bob last night, and he was at an event, and a representative from Evolve was handing out DNA 75s. They
Huh.
are in existence. Yep, they were handing out some samples, and apparently they were betas, but they were being handed out to people. Like, I don't know if they were modders or whatnot.
Yeah.
But there was a couple pictures that floated around, and yeah, there's no specifics on it yet. So if it does something different from the 200, but it's definitely a real thing. So that's
DNA
gonna,
75.
yeah.
DNA 75.
And the advantage would just be what? Cheaper?
Yeah,
That's-
that's all I can see.
I could see cheaper. If it being 75, I would take it that they're taking advantage of just a single cell, so maybe you could just do a single battery or
Yeah,
a dual
true.
parallel at 3.7. So that would eliminate a balancing port. You
Yeah.
wouldn't need that anymore. Yeah, I think personally, Evolve did that 200 just to show, hey, look what we can do.
We can do it, right. Because I never
Yeah.
use it at 200 watts. I mean,
No.
once just to play. Okay,
I don't
that's
go over
stupid.
20.
Yeah.
I could still use a DNA 20.
I got mine set at 50
cigars
right now.
right up on their website, so it can't be.
All right. Good night, everybody. Take
Yep.
it easy.
Have a great week, everyone.
See you in a couple weeks.
Soon.
Thanks for joining us. And we were going to be doing the giveaway for the Coolfire via the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I guess we
keep
should
an eye
probably
on our
talk
YouTube.
about that too.
That's a good point.
So if you want to enter to win the Coolfire, just submit a comment on the YouTube episode that says "I'm in." That's it.
Yeah. Just say I'm in on YouTube, and we will use the random picker and pick one of our wonderful.
But here's the deal. I'm not going to put that in the description anywhere, so if you don't watch the episode, you're not going to know what the code word is to put in. So
That's true. Good point. Very good.
So
Boom.
there you go. It's a smaller sample of people that can possibly win it.
Smaller sampling.
That's right. I know, I suck at giveaways, Castello. I'm sorry. I need to like go to Vapor Joe's channel and learn how to do giveaways, huh?
He'll school.
Because I hear he's really good at it,
I heard that too.
giving all that stuff away. All right, take it easy. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
I heard he's
Later.
good at a lot of things.
Where's it at? Where's it at?
There it is.
Where's it?
Look at that.
It's beautiful.